Sorry that you have to listen to me. I am also very surprised that I am here on Saturday. You all are much more exalted and better speakers than me. I should be listening. Our Shyam Kushal Prabhu suggested I should speak, and the other day, Nishkichintai Prabhu said that forget about anyone else, it is for you to become more serious about spiritual life. This is the opportunity to learn and share for my purification. So, taking this opportunity. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Shrunavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Bhadrani Vidyunoti Sukhatsatam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhate Girim Yat Kripastamham Vande Shri Guru Dinitarine Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramanandam Madhavam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, verse number 7. Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Bhakti Yogo Bahu Vidho
Bhakti Yogo Bhavidho
Marge Bhamini Bhavyate
Mate Bhavyate
Swabhava Guna Margena
Svabhava Gunamargena
Pumsa Bhavo Vibhidyate.
Samao Vidyate.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Bhakti Yogo Bahu Vidho
Bhakti Yogo Bhavidho
Marge Bhamini Bhavyate
Mate Bhavyate
Swabhava Guna Margena
Svabhava Gunamargena
Pumsa Bhavo Vividyate.
Samao Vidyate.
Shri Bhagavan
Shri
Vacha
Bhagavan Vacha
Bhakti Yogo Bahu Vidho
Bhakti Yogo
Marger Bhamini Bhavyate Swabhava Guna Margena Pumsam Bhavo Vividyate. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhakti Yogo Bahu Vidho Marger Bhavini Bhavyate Swabhava Guna Margena Pumsam Bhavo Vividyate. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhakti Yogo Bahu Vidho Marger Bhamini Bhavyate Swabhava Guna Margena Pumsam Bhavo Vividyate. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhakti Yogo Bahu Vidho Marger Bhamini Bhavyate Swabhava Guna Margena Pumsam Bhavo Vividyate. Mataji. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhakti Yogo Bahu Vidho Marger Bhamini Bhavyate Swabhava Guna Margena Pumsam Bhavo Vividyate. Anyone else want to read? Shri Bhagavan Vacha The personality of Godhead said, replied. Thank you. Bhakti Yoga Devotional service Bahu Vidha Multifarious Marge with paths Bhamini O noble lady Bhavyate is manifest Swabhava nature Guna qualities Margena in terms of behavior Pumsam of the executors Bhavaha the appearance Vibhidyate is divided. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Kapil, the personality of Godhead, replied, O noble lady, there are multifarious paths of devotional service in terms of the different qualities of the executor. purport. Pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness is one because in pure devotional service there is no demand from the devotee to be fulfilled by the Lord. But generally, people take to devotional service with a purpose. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, people who are not purified take to devotional service with four purposes. A person who is distressed because of material conditions becomes a devotee of the Lord and approaches the Lord for mitigation of his distress. A person in need of money approaches the Lord to ask for some improvement in his monetary condition. Others who are not in distress or in need of monetary assistance but are seeking knowledge in order to understand the absolute truth also take a devotional service, and they inquire into the nature of the Supreme Lord. This is very nicely described in Bhagavad Gita 7.16. Chaturvidha bhajate mam janana sukrutino arjuna arto jigyasu artharthi gnani cha bharatarshava. O best amongst the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. The distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. Actually, the path of devotional service is one without a second. But according to the devotee's condition, devotional service appears in multifarious varieties, as will be nicely explained in the following verses. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So here, when Lord Kapil Dev is replying to Mother Devati's question, he is sharing that, O noble lady, there are multifarious paths of devotional service, in terms of the different qualities of the executor. But right in the first line, Srila Prabhupada, in one sense, contradicts Kapil Dev, saying that pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness is one, because in pure devotional service, there is no demand from the devotee to be fulfilled by the Lord. So, in one sense, Srila Prabhupada is trying to emphasize here that any path of the devotional service you take, it leads to the lotus feet of the Lord. And the famous shloka or the 9 processes of bhakti, that any of the process that one would start taking um, is all perfect. But at the same time, here Srila Prabhupada wants to share also that don't get so much caught up in different types or different ways to start that service is better than what I am doing, or some other service that I'm inclined to serve, or I like serving some other way, which is better. Oh, that Prabhu or that Mataji who did that service, I could have done it much better. But it's just the situation. I have to continue doing what I'm doing. So that kind of mentality, I think I need to work on, and we need to take that kind of uh, message from here. Also, at the same time, Srila Prabhupada is sharing about different types of devotees who take to Krishna consciousness. And in one sense, those 4 types are glorified in Bhagavad Gita. That one would approach their parent if they are missing something, or somebody whom they can trust, somebody whom they can really share their heart. They would go out and share, okay, this is what I'm lacking. I really need this help. Same way, we incline to share our heart with Krishna. We should, we must. But at this, and having said that, Krishna is there in our heart as Paramatma sitting, and he knows what is best for us. So the examples are given that when we approach other, personalities, spiritual personalities that are empowered by Krishna for doing some material management in this material world, and we approach them, they tend to give what we think we will get. But ultimately, it is actually given by Krishna, right? Krishna sanctions those desires, the fulfillment of those desires, and that's how it eventually gets fulfilled. And Krishna also says that those who worship those personalities, those demigods, they are avidhi purvak bhajante. They are worshipping me with avidhi. That's not prescribed. That's not the prescribed way of worshipping them. But Krishna still says that one should not, shake the faith anyone has in other personalities right away, or should not contradict right away, because the faith that I have put in is also given by me. I am the one who established that faith in some way, shape, or form. So, as a devotee, when we listen to or hear there are 4 different types, then it's very natural to, compare it with one's own desires, or what kind I really fit in. And I think Krishna, or with ISKCON's introduction of Krishna consciousness, there is another category we need to put in of prasadarian, one who is interested in prasad. or who is hooked onto it by prasad only, not other these four things, because of course we growing up in India and having Indian culture, um, we are always treating God as somebody of the last resort. Whole year do whatever you want to do. 1 month before the exam, okay, I start doing Thursday, upwas. I'll start fasting on Thursday. I'll start going to Saturday also, put oil on Hanumanji. So many other things that comes into mind. And then eventually, once your desire gets fulfilled or not fulfilled, as Yugal Kishore Prabhu says, you change the personality that you are trying to please. He's not easily pleased. Let's go to somebody else who is easily pleased. So that's what our, at least I can speak for myself. That was my mentality. Anything higher and above me, if I wanted to please, that was only for my personal benefit. There was really no other understanding of why I am doing what I am doing. Okay, grandfather said, mother said, father said, oh, do this will do good to you. But how it is good for me and what it is going to be, what it is going to affect, and how it is going to change my life. Also, it is a fact that we all know, being an Indian born, that we know that this is not the final destination where we are. In somehow that information is there, that, oh, this person left. We call it like that. Chale gaye. He left, right? Or we also say, karma, we believe in karma, even though how much a person really adhering to that concept, it is a questionable thing, but everyone talks about karma in India. Don't do bad karma, do good karma, and this will come back bad for you. But everyone who departs, we write Swargavasi, Vaikunthavasi, Golokvasi. But it is really the person's karma or activity during that whole life determines where that person is going to go. And it is very, eye-opening actually to see what is real, right? What is really is going to stick to you. Yugal Kishore Prabhu always says about the bhakti account, what is going to come with you. Everything that you are going to accumulate is going to stay here. There's such effulgent and amazing examples around us who really has seen something that I'm not seeing, dedicating their life, serving Sri Radha Gopijana Vallabh, Sri Radha Gopijana Vallabh, and Nidai Patita Pawan Gaurari and Srila Prabhupada. But my heart is not really melting. I'm really not so concerned about that. I'm also going through my mechanical daily routine. Oh yes, Prabhu, we have to do this, we have to do this. But the heart is really not changing. That inclination to really serve is not there. Somehow or the other, services are there. I want to be at the last in the line. But okay, let others finish. I'm senior, so everybody knows me here, so I better act according to my stature. So this tendency to really be complacent is actually I need to address, and become more sincere about the services that we need to work on. I was listening to one class, what the mood of a sincere devotee, senior, one who is really sincere about their service. They don't really see death as an end point. They really consider and think that death is just what you call one of the station for the final destination. I was listening to a very nice class. Actually, I should thank Shrida because she is listening and I happen to hear around whenever I'm walking. There is a nice sentiment or nice feeling. I mean, by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and he's praying that is Shrida around? No. So that song is that one of the song that Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes, that Vrishabhanu Pure Janama Loibo Jabate Vivaha Hobe. Now, this is very, very difficult for us to understand, as Bhakti Vinod Thakur is singing, or his aspiration or his feeling is he wants to, as a Manjari, wants to be born after he leaves this material body. He wants to get married or be born in Vrishabhanupure, that is Barsana. He wants to be born in Barsana and do what? Get married in Javat, where Radharani is married, right? And he, as a Manjari, he wants to be with Radharani when she is in separation of Krishna, and try to pacify her, try to be of some service, that do some service with Radharani, service to Radharani, to please Krishna, to please her somehow. So this is the mood, this is the love that a sincere devotee or someone who is really living the life of service has in their heart for Krishna, or how to really make plans to do service even beyond the body, even beyond the material conditioning that we have and material situation that we are in. For us, for sadhakas or neophyte bhakta like me, we really need to take the time very seriously. In no time, I have become very close to 50. And in no time, there will be a time that, ticket cut gaya, the either. It's very, very pertinent. I can never forget, I was announcing here for Nayan Sundari Mataji's well-being, and I was standing here and announcing, please pray, Mataji is admitted. And then right next to me was Divatil Prabhu, and he was saying, Prabhu, I don't know, right now you're announcing for her, someday you'll be announcing for me. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of, everyone has to depart. But somehow or the other, the conditioning is so strong, birth after birth. Even though we are seeing people leaving from here and being around with us, having exchanges, and suddenly that person is no more there. But I somehow feel, no, मेरे को बहुत time है, अपने को बहुत time है, I have so much time. Oh, that person passed because of some reason, the mind will cook up, and I'll not become serious. I'll not really be worried about it for myself. So this is very, very critical for us to, meditate upon. Not that we are fearful of just death. Death is just one aspect of it. But how are we preparing for that final exam? Tyajantyante kalevaram, right? Whatever we are thinking at the time of leaving the body, that's what we are going to become. So it's not going to be like a switch. Okay, time of departure, get your consciousness ready for Krishna. Whatever we have done for the life, that is all going to come in front of our eyes. And Yugal Kishore Prabhuji mentions so many times in his class about that person falling from the skyscraper and is seeing everything, whatever is bothering, whatever is really of value, quote unquote, materially, if you are not spiritual, if one has not cultivated that consciousness, all those things will come. And very amazing example of Bharat Maharaj, Prabhuji gives, like one who is at the stage of bhava, right? He was seeing the Lord in his heart. He had the darshan. If that person can really get deviated and get um, continues to glorify the deer, how beautiful you're, walking and all that. What to speak of a struggling person like me? How much sincere and how much fearful I need to be about that situation when I have to depart and I have to leave. Um, Having said that, we are very, very fortunate in so many ways to really know what we know, even in theory. And one thing we need to be rest assured that our adjudication is not going to be done by the Yamaraj or material nature. We are actually connected to Krishna. So Krishna is orchestrating all the experiences that we need to become better version of ourselves. Every single moment. We have this, we have to have this firm faith in Krishna's, actions. Rakshishyati iti vishwaso. We have to have this firm faith that Krishna will protect me no matter what. No matter what, I need to continue doing whatever I can with my limited ability to become better version of myself. And I was seeing this spreadsheet shared by Yugal Kishore Prabhu about devotees being so sincere and so wonderful. Even the young kids are pledging so many number of rounds. And at that age, I had no idea what my life I wanted to, like I was 10 or 12 or 15. I did not have a clue that spiritual life existed, So this, we are very, very fortunate to, um, be in the congregation where devotees are so sincere, devotees are so loving, caring, and wanting to serve Sri Sri Radha Gopijana Vallabh, Nitai Padita Bhavan Gaur Hari, and Srila Prabhupada. I'd like to take this opportunity also to, share with everyone that recently His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was in Mayapur for the ashes ceremony for his father, Shriman Jerry Slevin Prabhu. So Maharaj was leading by an example how one has to really take care of um, the obligation, as Mahaprabhu also did the same. He went to Gaya. So Maharaj went and did the ceremony as well as served the prasadam at Brahmachari ashram with his own hands to all the brahmacharis. So, we might feel like, oh, he's a guru, his father is already, liberated, or he's already at the best destination one could achieve, right? Any of us, if we think in that terms, we are trying to be the disciples of Maharaj, and what to speak of Maharaj's father's position, right? And think about like how Maharaj is really taking this process so seriously, serving, praying. And I was actually there when Maharaj's mother passed. It was Mayapur Yatra also 2003. So somehow I also remember that, I saw this video, and I was very new. And in 2003, November, I went and I knew few devotees, Maharaj's disciples, and I didn't know the situation, or probably I knew, but just to show off, I just went to Maharaj, I Venkatapat Prabhu, I'm friends with him, and I'm here for the yatra for the first time. And even in that situation, when he heard his mother's passing, he kind of hugged me, just to pacify me, and like seeing my exuberant, like, I mean, I was so excited to share whatever I was sharing. And in that situation also, Maharaj really shared the compassion. So one point I really wanted to share, that when we talk about bhakti in different uh, modes, that is bhakti in ignorance, bhakti in passion, and bhakti in goodness, that at least we need to understand that bhakti doesn't become tinged with that. It is the executor, as Lord Kapil Dev is saying, that the executor's mood, or the mode that the executor is in, that describes that. So it is, the bhakti never changes. It's in that's purest form, but the executor. So I asked Shrida last night, like, can you tell me an example of somebody who is doing bhakti in ignorance? So without a second thought, she said, oh, somebody who is coming to the temple doing some service, but then he's going out and doing something like drinking liquor or something. And I was like, wow, that sounds like a good example. But here, bhakti in ignorance is somewhat a separatist mentality. Want to continue serving, but I have material desires also. I want to fulfill that also, and use Krishna for that. And bhakti in passion is the desire for the, what you have is, we want to continue and acknowledge Krishna, but I have this plans, Krishna, see, I'm trying to serve you, and this is the plan, and I want to reach, my goal is to reach that goal with your help. I'm recognizing your presence, and I also want to continue achieving those goals, but I need your help. That is bhakti in passion. That's my understanding. Please correct me. And bhakti in goodness is that we understand this material world is not so, good, not very happy place. So we don't have the material desires to achieve something. But I want to get out of here. I want to be in the state of no pain. I don't want to deal with any issues. So Krishna, can you please liberate me? That is my goal in bhakti in goodness. That okay, I want to get out of here. And that's why Srila Prabhupada very emphatically says that bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, is beyond three modes. You don't have really any desires for yourself, not to get liberated, not to achieve any goals, and not to achieve, of course, any material goals or material things. But Krishna is the goal. Service to Krishna is the goal. That's bhakti. And service to Krishna doesn't come, direct service to Krishna is really not the way to approach Krishna. As Krishna has already shared several times in so many scriptures, that serving the devotees of my devotee, like my devotee's devotee should be served. Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamalayor Das Das Dasam. That is the mood that our acharyas have shared and lived the life by. Um, and we really need to, I really need to become serious about this process, because as Indradumna Maharaj and so many other senior devotees are saying, that I cannot really take it for granted and don't think I'm something, some so superior, or some, I am special, so I got this information and I'm practicing this. He says we are just a little bit more fortunate than everyone else or somebody on the street. They just don't have this information. They don't have this knowledge shared in the way that was shared to us. They did not come across those loving devotees or sincere souls that were really wanting our upliftment, our good, without any motivation. Any devotee who has touched your heart, that person is not getting anything, right? At that moment, when you're sharing about Krishna, when you're sharing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or you're sharing about Prabhupada, how he took pain, so much of pain, to share what they shared. There is no material gain. Of course, there is spiritual abundance, mercy is there for sure. But there is no, and one devotee was sharing that when you come across devotees for the first time, or initially, you almost feel like it's too good to be true. You feel like there must be some material motive, or like, because we have interacted with people in general, in material world, in exchange and reciprocation. And then, oh Prabhu, please come take prasad, and Mataji, please come take prasad, can I get you something? It's like, I'm here. They must now, next time when they say, they'll ask some donation, or something has to be there. Nobody can be really this caring, loving, without any ulterior motive. But eventually we find out that they really don't want anything, because everything is provided by the Lord. Everything is provided by the Lord according to our desires. Krishna will fulfill those desires. So be very careful what we desire. We have to be really, really very careful what we desire. And yeah, when last night our Shyam Kishore Prabhuji called me, I didn't know that Pitru Paksha have started. Today is the first day of the Pitru Paksha. So I want to share something very personal, that my father departed on the night of Purnima 3 years back, and according to our ritual, this is the first year that we have to do the Shraddha. Like he's coming into, like we have to do some puja or service. So this is the first, so night of the Purnima, and so Shraddha falls on the first day, or Pratipad. So I'd like to take the opportunity to share something about him. This is my father, Advait Priya Prabhu, and he was really very simple person, and very much took Krishna consciousness. He came to know about it at the age of almost 58, when we came to know about Krishna, and then took it up very seriously. And he had this desire to, in my brother's multi-specialty medical office, we have a lot of examining rooms. So where we were practicing, he has said, okay, give one room to me. Any patient that comes, I will talk to them about Harinam and make them chant one round. And that somewhat manifested. Whoever he meet, very emphatically, very strongly told, especially Indians, to chant Hare Krishna mantra, and very very nice way he was sharing it, but strong also. So he has this one favorite bhajan that I'd like to sing all of it with all of you. Um, we have some time. And I won't be able to replicate the mood and the figure he has for singing, but I'll try my best. Um, can someone please play Madanga? Thank you. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava. Radhe Jaya Gokul Karuni Mandala Mahike Gokul Karuni Gokul Karuni Mandala Mahike Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe Damodara Rati Vardhana Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe Hare Vishabhanudati Navashashi Lekhe Vishabhanudati Lalita Sati Guna Ramita Vishati Lalita Karuna Guru Mai Karuna Bharite Karuna Guru Mai Karuna Bharite Karuna Guru Mai Karuna Bharite Kanaka Sanatana Varanta Charito Kanaka Sanatana Varanta Charito So we had at least once or twice we read together at home, and every time when the reading is finished, he had a few verses that he always chanted. So I'll say those verses, and then we will end the class here. Thank you for very kind attention and giving me the opportunity to speak. The verses are, I don't know if you know, I didn't get a chance to find that out. The last one, there are two verses, that is Ek Shloki Ramayana and Ek Shloki Krishna Lila from Bhagavatam, and the first one is the Achyutam Keshavam Shri Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Shri Vasudevam Hare Sridharam Madhavam Shri Gopika Vallabham Shri Janaki Nayakam Shri Ramachandram Bhaje Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patale Vakshasthale Stu Kaustubham Nasagre Varamuktikam Karatale Venutale च कंकणम सर्वांगे हरिचंदनम सुललितम कंठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूड़ामणि आदो राम तपोवनादिगमनम हत्वा मृगा कांचनम वैदेहि हरणं जटायुमरणं सुग्रीवशं भाषणं वाली निग्रहणं समुद्रतरणं लंकापुरी दाहनं पश्चाद् रावण कुंभकर्ण हननम् एतत् श्री रामायणम् आदो देवकी देवगर्भजननं गोपी गृहे वर्धनम मायापूतन जीवतापहननम श्री गोवर्धनो धारणम कंसच्छेदन कौरवादिहननम कुंती सुता पालनम एतत् श्रीमद्भागवत पुराण कथितम श्री कृष्ण लीलामृतम कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की
जय।
द्वारिकाधीश की
जय।
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
कृष्ण प्रभुपाद की
जय। श्री कृष्ण कुमार प्रभु जी की जय।
Jai.
Thank you very much, Krishnakumar Prabhu. Nice class. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Wonderful, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhu. In 9:15, maybe I can just talk.
Thank you, Krishnakumar Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.